All right, we should be live.
Yeah, we are.
Yes,
I
we
think.
are.
Yes, sir. Last live stream of 2023.
Mhm. Hindi naman kami nakamute na, Emile. You can hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Perfect.
There you go.
Yung pala itsura nun.
Yung yung producer's point of
Yeah,
view.
yeah.
Glendale, hello. What's up? Our
Patron.
new patron. Yeah, Glendale, what's up, man? What's up, man? Glendale?
Oo nga, wala pa si Bruce.
Yeah, let's
Oh,
hope he's
D
not
Prime.
Deep Prime is here.
Prime.
What up, man?
What's up, brother?
Brian?
Baka may Christmas party si Bruce ngayon. So,
Oh, baka.
Yeah, baka. It is possible. Gonna be talking quite a bit. This is the last live stream of the year.
yep. Last
We're gonna
one.
be drawing. Ano pala, the raffle winner.
Oh, prepared na yun. May special guest pa tayo.
Hey, Mac. What's up, Mac?
Best and worst wrestler as Santa Claus. I don't know.
Hey, Mac.
Sino bang
I
gumanap?
think best is Mick Foley.
Yeah,
That's
I
the one I
guess
can think
Mick
of.
Foley's the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
He set the bar pretty high.
I can't think of a worse because it's Santa Claus is a feel good character. So how can
If you
someone-
can name a worst Santa Claus, then you must be Alberto Del Rio.
No.
Hi,
Oh,
Ina.
Ina. Hi, Ina.
Yeah.
Sinong wrestler gusto mo exchange gift? So basically, if you want to exchange gift with someone in the wrestling industry, who would you?
Sino ba mayaman? John C. Si The Rock.
Oh,
The
Yeah.
Rock gives amazing gifts.
bibigyan niya ako ng bahay, pero
Oh.
ako wala akong mabibigay sa kanya. Because what do you give a man who has everything?
Exactly.
A title shot for the undisputed championship.
Does he
Just
really
kidding.
need it though? Does
I'm
he?
just kidding. I mean, yeah, siguro.
Siguro love. Kasi give love on Christmas Day, di ba?
Exactly.
Mo.
Yes. Yep.
Para sa mga kapapasok lang sa stream, ito na yung raffle na pinakahihintay nating lahat. Meron mag-uuwi ng LA Night gift pack.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Christmas gift. Although I got to tell you, we do have someone who bought a lot of tickets.
Oh. Ganun talaga pag ninang ka.
I think may sagot si Mac dun sa question mo, like, what can you give The Rock? He said, give him the money in the bank. Tas sige.
He already has a lot of money in the bank.
Oo nga.
Nawala kami.
I guess that's the one thing he hasn't won ever. Money in the bank. I get where he's coming from.
Alright. Then, nawala lang yung screen natin, pero we're still live.
Are we still here?
Yeah, we are.
Glendale says that person
I
who
would
bought
think-
a lot of tickets need to finish the story.
Yeah, we can hear Emile. But that's because I am
Live pa rin. I'm monitoring on Facebook.
okay.
Yeah, we're live. You guys are live, so don't worry.
Okay. Sige. Kasi nawala yung feed namin.
Yeah.
Okay na, si Emile muna mag-check. Siya muna magbabasa ng comments.
Yung display ang nawala.
Oo.
Let's try.
Okay.
Who's ready for story time? What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
Let me talk to him.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I have to finish the story.
We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Run!
Bang! The sniper is shooting you down. This is TMDK's Robbie Eagles.
Hey, this is the Cosmic Cactus, Paul London.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov, the Czar, the NXT champion, and you're listening to...
And you're listening to...
And you're listening.
And you are listening
And you're listening
to the Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
The Wrestling Podcast.
to the Wrestling Podcast. Yeah.
You are watching and listening to the longest running weekly episodic Filipino wrestling podcast. This is the Wrestling Podcast. Stan C and Ro Moran joining you live from the TPN studios and joining us live via satellite, Emile Nate.
Pero,
Hey,
pero ano pa rin sa Rowen ASH? Come in the frame, young boy.
hey, there you go.
He's here, but he's also not here because he has been too busy studying for his final exams to keep up with wrestling. Tama yun. Stay in school.
Oh, wag kang tutulad sa mga nag-drop out tapos wala din pinatunguhan yung buhay. Diba?
From the same dentistry school that Rowen is from.
Na mahilig din sa wrestling. So, the reason why we're all here, why we are gathered here today, is because we actually recorded our year-end special. So if you're a long-time listener of the podcast, then you know that we have the Wrestling Podcast Year-End Awards. And Rowen recorded with us, pati si Emile actually via satellite. And we recorded that para may papakinggan tayo over our holiday break. So that's between Christmas and New Year. So some admin notes lang muna before we get to everything we have to discuss for tonight. Wala na tayong picks week next week. Wala rin tayong live stream for next week because we also want to give ourselves a break. We also want to give our friends, our producers here at TPN a holiday break. So this is the last live stream for 2023. Unfortunately, that also means hindi tayo makakapag-predictions ng World's End ng maayos. Hindi rin tayo makakapag-predictions ng Wrestle Kingdom 18 for January 4. So, babawi na lang tayo after the New Year celebrations. We'll review all of those shows and pahirapan namin yung mga sarili namin with all of the stuff that we have to talk about. So, that is what is on our plate for the next couple of days. So, after Christmas Day itself on Monday, by Tuesday, the year-end awards should drop on your feeds. We recorded those as 2 separate episodes kasi sobrang daming pinag-usapan. So we just had to separate that para rin hindi tayo lahat mabato. Alright? Sabi ni Glendale, si Emile daw yung Zordon ng Wrestling Podcast.
What's that? I don't get the reference.
Shit.
No!
Shit. Glendale. Ano ba yun? Di ko rin gets. Ano ba yun?
What's
Ano ba yun, Kuya Atito Glendale?
Pati si Rowen, blank expression, no thoughts. Sino yun?
No, Emile, here's what you do. You go to our Discord server, you go and tag MJ, and he will tell you everything you need to know.
I'll do that later.
Our patrons will take you to school.
Especially one patron who is a major super fan of this franchise.
Yeah. We've got the LA Knight Christmas gift pack. Let me ask the audience or ask the people in the room. Do you want to do it now or do you want to save it for the end of the stream?
No.
Do it now. Yeah, do it now.
Yeah, do it
Yes,
now.
sure. Okay. Let's start things off by making people happy and giving away our LA Knight gift pack. So, just a quick reminder, ito yung mechanics natin, how we were able to come to this. Bumili kami ng LA Knight merch from wweshop.com. So, authentic merch to. It's an LA Knight t-shirt, an LA Knight beanie, and LA Knight wristbands. Authentic from WWE Shop. And we sold raffle tickets for as low as 100 pesos per ticket. All right? So for everyone else, it's 1 ticket for 100 pesos. But for the patrons, they get 2 tickets for every 100 pesos that they spend. All right? So you see a lot of names there. Some of those names belong to just one person. Because one person,
that one person did spend money.
Yeah. All right? So, wala magsasabi na, unfair kasi yung taong yun, yung pangalan niya, mga half na nung ruleta natin.
Sabi namin sa inyo, the more entries you buy, the more you spend, the more 100 pesos you spend, the more entries you get.
Oh, the more chances of winning, di ba? So, wala na lang sisihan. Okay? Meron pa nga mga nagpahabol eh. So, let's see who will take home yung LA Night gift pack natin. Si Babyface producer Jasper, he is in the other room. He's actually in control of the magic roulette. So, Babyface producer Jasper, whenever you're ready, spin that wheel.
And let's finish that.
That's your Rowen.
All right. Oh no. Da ta ta da ta 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 da ta 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 ta. 1,000 pesos has paid off for one Abby Yuson. Congratulations, Ninang Abby. The logic stands, guys. We asked you to buy as many as you could for more chances, and that paid off.
Diba? The more entries, the more chances of winning. Si George, tinetreaten pa si Babyface producer Jasper eh. Tapos si Raffle George. Pinasali ka na nga namin ng last minute eh. So congratulations to Abby Yuson or Ninang Abby of the Wrestling Podcast patron community. She gets to walk away with this LA Night gift pack. So we'll get in touch with you on how to claim your prize.
Don't worry, meron pa tayong susunod na raffle, not anytime soon though. Pag oras na for our 10th anniversary, we already have those prizes in the bag. They're pretty exciting. Sakto yun for the coming season.
Yes. We're going to celebrate things huge for our 10th anniversary. So watch out for that pag available na siya, right? So in the meantime, if you want to get a lot of the benefits that our patrons get, kind of like what Abby got, she was able to get double the chances of winning for the amount of money that she spent on the raffle. Emile, let the people know how they can be part of our growing and really, really fun wrestling podcast patron community.
But before that, now we would just like to thank every patron, every patron na sumali this year sa aming Patreon. You guys made our year, and again, you get a lot of benefits. Of course, when you join our Patreon, it's at patreon.com/wrestling podcast. Wala yung Kyron sa below. But yeah, you get a lot of benefits. Of course, Discord community. You get to enjoy that, and you get to interact with your fellow podcast and talk to us about anything, about wrestling, about anything else, on everything and anything under the sun. It's really fun. It's really fun to talk things, ask advice. Actually, asked a very personal career advice earlier in the Discord community. So if you want to be a part of that, you could subscribe to our Patreon, and also the review content of the weekly wrestling shows, courtesy of Rowen and Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, and with the Pasabays, which I think we're gonna do one again next week, right? Or next month.
Yeah, actually, we can tell people now.
So if you want to get the special rates on that one, you can join our Patreon. And again, thank you to everyone who subscribed to our Patreon this year. And again, by doing that, you're supporting everything that we do here in the pod. So again, it's at patreon.com/wrestling podcast.
All right, Ro, let's tell them about the new Pasabay run that we're going to open right after Christmas.
Yeah, so after the last Pasabay run ng Black Friday, syempre kakabalik ni CM Punk nung panahong yon. And we had a lot of inquiries about whether or not we were doing a Pasabay for his newest merch from WWE. So we have heard those, and for those who want to get in those purchases, we're not entirely sure kung masasama sila in any holiday sales that are happening on WWE Shop right now kasi bagong merch pa lang siya. But you got the money to burn on the brand new CM Punk merch drop. We're doing a Pasabay run next week after Christmas. We'll open the batch on the 26th para may panahon kayo to get that Christmas money from your ninongs and ninangs. And we'll close it on Friday. I believe that is December 29th.
Yep.
And we'll make the orders over the weekend, and hopefully you'll get it around this time next month, which should be around payday as well, para sakto. So again, similar rules. You can buy from WWE Shop, Shop AEW, or wherever else that you want to buy wrestling merch from, whether it's an actual wrestling merch site or a wrestling adjacent or a merch site with wrestling stuff in it. If they accept our credit cards, then it's fair game. So, stay tuned for that. for those who have already done this, syempre, alam niyo na, once it's open, send us a PM. We'll open the forms for you. And that's how we get our new merch again. So consider this your official holiday lason.
Yeah. Actually, suot ko under the t-shirt yung lason ko from Black Friday. I got a WrestleMania 39 long sleeved shirt. So, medyo maliit lang yung design dito sa chest. But at the back, it's got the full-on WrestleMania Goes Hollywood poster. So, I'm really loving what I'm wearing right now, and I hope that you can say the same for yourself if and when you join our Pasabay run for the end of 2023.
Yeah, and then
All right,
I'm
let's
also
talk
wearing
about
I'm also wearing the one that I got from Black Friday, the WrestleZania and the KO
Yo.
mini shirt. So,
Yeah.
Yon, mga nalason kami ni Emile. All right, let's talk about some wrestling, and we're going to start off with some good news. Ate Kaden and her partner Katana Chance are the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. So, at this point, di pa rin natin sure if their real tag team name is KC2 or if you want to call them the KCs or whatever you want to call them. Basta Kaden Carter and Katana Chance have taken the titles away from Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. So, I didn't see this coming at all, although I should have guessed that something was up when Samantha Irvin did not say Chelsea Green in the usual malandi way that she announces Chelsea's name. So something was up, and then yun nga, they've turned it into something based on the kayfabe beef that Samantha Irvin and Chelsea Green are working with on Twitter. So it's a fun way to end the year for Kaden and Katana. Good way as well for them to make a mark on the women's tag team division. And I think sina Chelsea and Piper, they have done what they can in the time that they were women's tag team champions.
Marami nagreklamo about, Piper and Chelsea not being a real team, whatever that means. I mean, like, yeah, they're not a team together, but who is really, unless you're like twins, like Jay and Jimmy, diba? Or brothers like the Young Bucks, diba? That logic, speaking as a tag team wrestler who is teamed or was teamed with someone I didn't have a close tie with until that time, that logic doesn't really fly. Like, who cares? As long as they build a rapport together, which Chelsea and Piper kind of did. Okay lang yan. I mean, to go to the bigger thing is that a team that actually does have a rapport, a bigger rapport, a better rapport is Champ, and it's good that we have some forward momentum on the championships. It's also great that right after that win, Raw immediately showed like 3 other teams in the division looking to get their shots, right? So healthy. The tag division is super healthy, and I can't wait to see how they proceed from here. And let's hope that the curse is at least stopped for now.
Yeah, kasi if you remember, si Sonia Deville, yung original partner ni Chelsea Green, and you could say that they were put together, but then again, they had the common trait of being very antagonistic towards Adam Pearce. So yun yung bonding factor nila. And then when Sonia Deville got injured, that's when Piper Niven stepped in and declared herself as Chelsea's new partner. Na si Chelsea, wala siya magawa kasi majojombag siya ni Piper Niven. And then over time, they became friends, and Piper Niven would actually come to Chelsea Green's aid. So kahit pa paano, they were able to develop some form of a connection in the story.
Yeah. Ricochet's past and present in one room. I'm sure he's had to deal with that for the whole year at this point.
Yeah, I will give props to Piper and Chelsea kasi Piper was supposed to be just a replacement, for the meantime while Sonya was recovering from the injury. And then she eventually took the title as now she's the tag team champion. And they at least they were able to make the title scene kind of stable. What I mean is stable, yung ano lang, okay lang, cruise control, everything, and it's on TV regularly, and like before na, someone's will get injured and then mawawala yung title for a while until there's a new champion, then the same thing's gonna happen. But now at least there is some sort of a division in there at least, and when yung tag team ni Casey and ni Katana, when they got drafted on Raw, I already penciled them in. By the end of the year, they will win the tag team titles. And sakto. umabot. So
Are
I'm
you
glad
saying
that
that you're the new Rowan? You're the new manifester of the podcast?
nah, Rowan is still the great manifester. So I'm just following in his footsteps. But again, I'm glad that they actually pulled the trigger on them winning the tag team titles kasi they sila na talaga on the main roster, which who I felt like they have a good chemistry in ring wise as a team.
Mm-hmm. All right, so congratulations to Caden Carter and Katana Chance. Pinoy pride, wala tayo na
Yeah,
pa,
Pinoy
ano tayo,
Pride. Yeah.
lupang hiniran tayo. Because Caden Carter is half Pinay, in case you still didn't know that.
Wait,
Because she's not proud.
does that make Casey the uh second wrestler with Filipino blood to win a title on WWE or no?
Third,
Meron.
Batista,
Oh,
TJP, and then
oh yeah,
si
pala.
Caden.
Yeah, okay, got
Yeah.
it.
So, and
Yeah.
for anyone who's counting, I guess I would make Caden Carter the third.
Mm.
See, Shotzi, wala. No, fourth. Shotzi was a women's tag team
Oh yeah,
champion
yeah, yeah.
at some
With,
point.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So she's the fourth. Oh, tama, lahat tayo, di nagbibilang eh.
yes.
I mean, NXT is in WWE, Rowan, so I would say it's counted. Yeah?
Yeah, it is.
All right. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about that Ridge Holland and Ilya Dragunov spot to end NXT. We'll also talk about some stuff that we caught on Raw. And we'll also be doing worlds and predictions, at least whatever we have so far, based on what we've been watching on AEW. All of that coming up right after this break. But first, let's hear from our other podcasts on the Pod Network. All right, let's talk about some stuff from WWE TV this week. Let's start off with Ridge Holland. Na medyo mainit-init actually since last week pa when they did the taping. So yes, tape na yung episode ng NXT yesterday when they aired it. So NXT ended with a Ridge Holland versus Ilya Dragunov match. And Ilya Dragunov seemingly got injured after what appeared to be like a brain buster from Ridge Holland. People are saying that it's a work and then napaka-awkward syempre no ending ng NXT because it was an injury angle to the champion, diba? And then it basically doubles down on yung unfortunate history ni Ridge Holland getting involved with injuries sa mga naka-wrestle niya from Big E to Elton Prince and now si Ilya Dragunov. So I've been seeing some people online cussing out Ridge Holland or giving him a hard time once again. May iba na ang dami sinasabi na this guy's unsafe, he should be fired. And at least for myself, you already know my feelings on this. Now, I'm never gonna criticize anyone's wrestling, actual in-ring wrestling again, just because I'm not a wrestler, so I wouldn't know how these things work. But from your standpoint, Ro, from what you saw, is it a good idea to double down on what has become an unfortunate pattern kay Ridge Holland?
In a vacuum, that kind of angle is okay kasi work naman eh, diba? It's just that they set Ridge up for some terrible shit when they decided to do that with him, considering his reputation, that his unfair reputation, by the way, of being involved in matches where his opponent gets injured for one reason or another. Because a lot of people don't understand how these injuries happen, even though there are someone like me who can explain them properly. Because maraming di nakaintindi, it's really not a good idea to blur those lines, even though the idea, I guess, is to maximize the heat that someone like Ridge Holland is getting. It's just that it's the wrong kind because it attracts the terrible insults. And at this point, he isn't even a heel, but he was pretty much wrestling as a face here.
Yeah.
And I don't understand why they had to set him up for that kind of for that kind of hate, unless I guess obviously the plan is for him to turn heel and then capitalize on it, because that's what they've been doing on SmackDown tonight with him and Butch, right? So it's just not fair. And then there are people who say the fans know too much. The fans aren't are just are not sitting there and letting it all happen. But this is them letting it happen. Because if the intention was to get Rich booed, then that's happening now, right? And that's the exact reaction that they wanted. But it's just not fair for the guy. Because it's just not fair for him. Because people don't know that he's not causing these injuries, diba? And it's really tough when you decide to go for a line blurring angle and story. Because um, there will be a point where all of that can get to the guy. And, I don't know if he can take it, if he can withstand the mental torture of receiving the fans' hate. I don't know if he's a Baron Corbin who revels in it. Pero on its face, I just don't think it's fair that they set him up like that.
Ikaw, Emile, you wanted to talk about this today.
Yeah, same feelings here. I thought it was they put him in such a tough spot na, especially with the angle na it's quite close to reality. When I say that, what I mean is people were already giving him too much flack for he didn't. I don't think he injured wrestlers. The injuries just happened, and
Mm.
they're giving him too much shit about it, too much stuff, and they run this angle. So when when uh Twitter when posts on Twitter came out about about what happened, people thought it was real. People
Yeah.
thought that Ilya got injured, and I will give credit to Ilya. He sold it really well, pero it didn't help the situation. Which like Rich was already in hot water with these people unfairly, in my opinion, and this just gave them a chance to double down on it and even say mean things about him, like wishes him to be fired, which is again really really unfair. If their goal was to turn him heel, I felt the opposite. For me, Ridge was I kind of feel sympathy for him. Like he came out of that angle as a sympathetic babyface, in my opinion, not as someone who's gonna turn heel. Like I know maybe that's where they're gonna head it, but with knowing the situation and knowing the all the things that happened, lumabas siya for me as a sympathetic babyface talaga eh. I don't know about you guys, but that's how he.
I wouldn't say like sympathetic baby face right away, just because uh I guess in this case, Ridge versus Ilya, si Dragunov pa rin yung bigger baby face. But I guess sympathetic if you know the meta narrative. Kasi you have to know that meta narrative na merong history na involved si Ridge Holland sa mga injuries ng mga naka-wrestle niya. Right? But if you didn't know that meta narrative, if you're like a casual fan who doesn't go to the internet, doesn't read the dirt sheets, but you watch NXT, which meron pa ring taong ganon, you'll be like, okay, so na-injure niya si Ilya. What a dick. Alam mo yun? Like, I don't think maawa necessarily yung tao just because there's like a history, because they might not know that history.
Yeah. I agree na yung sympathy I have for Ridge is as a fellow wrestler na I know that it's not him who deliberately caused these injuries. Like even if you were to say that he's unsafe, a lot of these injuries happen by accident, and what happened in his matches were also by accident, not because he was being unsafe or anything. So there's really very little knock on Ridge because even he got injured in a match, diba? And that wasn't his fault. It really was just a freak accident. I really just don't think it's fair to legitimize yung unfortunate curse of accidents following him and turn it into an actual wrestling story. Maybe he signed up for it because it's clout and everything, but I figure, or I predict rather, that it might not be a good thing for his career.
The thing I'm concerned about is more of yung mga fans who think they know but they don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Parang mas lalo na-embolden yung
Yep.
mga ganun. Na, kita mo, wala ngang, wala ngang credibility tong wrestler na to, or unsafe nga siya, even though, hindi mo alam na work pala, or di mo alam na this guy could actually be doing all the right things. Minalas lang siya na this happened and that happened. So, I just wouldn't want to embolden fans like that.
Tsaka the sign that this is a terrible storyline is that you actually need fans to break the kayfabe and say that he wasn't
Yeah.
intentionally injured, or that it was a work for people to not go overboard with Rich, diba? So if we had to do that, it means that talagang this wasn't a good idea at all.
All right, so there. Kayo, let us know in the comments what you think about this whole Ridge Holland situation. As always, we're taking your comments on the Facebook page, sa YouTube stream, even in on our feeds, TikTok and on Twitter. Moving on to more WWE stuff, let's go to Raw, where Drew McIntyre had a hell of a promo against Seth Rollins. So it seems like Rollins has gone back-to-back weeks with epic showdowns on the mic. So this week, yung katambal naman niya sa scene was Drew McIntyre, who really gave us some more layers to his story and to the heel turn. Napaka-justified nung story niya, pero he makes it twisted such that I went through all of this pain with my family and not being with them, and that's why I need that championship, and that's why I'm willing to hurt you. Kumbaga, ginagamit niya yung pangungulila from his family as justification to do everything in his power to hurt Rollins and to take the title from him, which tells you na yung pagka-vicious niya, yung pagka-relentless or ruthless rather, ni Drew McIntyre is what really cements him as a heel.
Yeah, I think I saw a report somewhere that said that this is a legit, these yung sinabi niya were legit conversations that he's had with his family from back home. So I believed it. I felt that everything that he said on Raw to Seth was legit, and it's one of those best things. It's one of those real moments that get you to believe the most because they're super authentic, and I really enjoy this because it's super complex. It's not a cartoon character. It's a far cry from the corny ass babyface Drew McIntyre with a dumb sword and the sticking it in the ground for the pyro. This is way more compelling, and it's so compelling that when Seth is not going up against Punk, I want Seth to lose because
Yeah.
I'm with this I'm with this guy. He is an OFW, diba? He is OSW, overseas Scottish warrior, and this guy has been missing his family. Meanwhile, Seth is traveling with his wife, diba?
Oo nga naman.
His
Yeah,
wife
yeah.
and daughter. Why wouldn't I cheer him? Diba? What does Seth have? Seth is only interesting when he's talking shit to Punk. So I highly enjoy this, and I don't just say that just to minimize Drew's real life struggles into entertainment for me, but he chose to do that. He chose to pour himself into this character and into this story. So I am here to to resonate with what he is giving us.
Ito, quick predictions for day one. Does Drew McIntyre win the World Heavyweight Championship here?
Sure, why not?
You know what? Yes. Yeah.
I want him to.
Yep. Yes.
Punk versus Seth. I don't know. It doesn't have to be for the champ. I mean, there's a way, I guess, for Seth to come back around with a championship. Kasi yun yung gusto ni Punk, diba, yung championship. And I guess the main event of WrestleMania. And I think this is fine. Like, I would like them to give Drew McIntyre what he is asking for. Syempre behind the scenes. Obviously it's going to depend on whether or not he's re-signed with the company, but if I were them, if I would like him to re-sign, and I think they should because he's showing some real range right now, I just give him the championship, and then that will lead him to sign the new contract.
Ikaw, Emile.
Yes. Have him win the title. That promo on Raw changed my stance about him not winning the championship. He should absolutely win the title here. They can always circle back to Seth versus Punk for the title. So even though April na yung Mania, sobrang layo pa naman tayo. So I feel like they can just circumvent around it. Just give Drew his moment here. Because I feel like must deserve, and maybe they could do the cash in as well around the Rumble time. So maybe he could lose the title that way. So yeah, just have him have the moment on day one.
Mhm. Ito, maganda yung sinabi ni Awi in the comment section na yung pagka-heel ni Drew ngayon is like Thanos or Killmonger in the MCU na to a certain extent, you can probably justify their motivations and somehow sympathize with them. Pero may ginagawa pa rin sila na irredeemable or na, di ba, at the end of the day, heel pa rin talaga si Thanos and si Killmonger and in this case, si Drew. And like I said, yung pagka-irredeemable ni Drew is in the fact that he's willing to hurt Seth. Kasi di ba, you're not supposed to intentionally hurt your opponents. You're supposed to defeat them. Diba? If you can outsmart them and pin them down for 3 seconds, then go. But si Drew says na, I'm willing to do anything and everything to take that title away from you. And that's what makes him the villain here in the situation.
Yeah, Awi hit the nail on the head. It's the MCU villain playbook. It's always good.
Yeah.
Some people will hate it because you give the villain a reason to be cheered, but people aren't black and white.
Yeah. All right, let's show some love to the Creed brothers who had a hell of a main event on Raw this week against Finn Balor and Damian Priest for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. Grabe, sobrang galing. And in the year-end awards, we sing the praises of Julius and Brutus Creed, but to make such an impact on the main roster, not even 2 months into their run, says a lot about how great these two are.
Yeah, Triple H, remember, he keeps tabs on everyone, how they perform. He knew what he was doing when he called up the Creed brothers, even though it was a couple of months a little too late. But Judgment Day, syempre, hottest act right now. I think someone else is penciled to beat them for the championships. Again, we say we gotta split those titles up because there are so many talented tag teams who deserve to have a run, and the Creed brothers is one of them. Is one of the teams that need that shit. Diba? Stan mentioned that we talk about them in the year-end awards. We actually named them as one of our rookies of the year, and rightfully so. Kasi they're only fresh in the business. We don't even know if they set out to be pro wrestlers when they started amateur wrestling, pero they're just so damn good. And I would have I wouldn't have minded rather tag team championship win for them on this week's episode of Raw. Kahit saglit lang, diba? Kasi it's a tag team championship anyway. Judgment Day is still the dominant faction, and Judgment Day is facing problems. So it's not out of the question for them to be the better team for one night, for this night only.
Yeah, but have them spend Christmas with the tag team championships, then drop them to the Judgment Day at day one. But it is what it is. Ikaw, Emile, any thoughts on that main event from Raw?
Oh yeah, since wala pala tayong pick of the week recording, I'm gonna say this is my pick of the week. Creed Brothers versus Judgment Day for the tag team titles on Raw the other day, and again, it was an amazing main event. There was a point there where I really thought they were gonna win the titles. Yung second Brutus Ball, I really thought that was gonna be it. But yeah, they showed out. They've been showing out ever since debuting on Raw, and I feel like 2024 is gonna be a big year for the Creed Bros.
Mm-hmm. All right, so congrats to the Creed brothers for showing up and showing out on Raw. Say what's up to Angelo in the comments.
Hey, Angelo.
Walang problema sa pagiging late joiner. Basta nandito ka.
Oh, better late than never nga.
Diba? Baka naman na-stuck ka sa traffic kasi. Diba? Hindi naman kami nagagalit sa ganyan. Right, let's talk about Shinsuke Nakamura and his very sick and twisted poem from Monday Night Raw. So, ang dami niya sinabi kay Cody Rhodes. Tinawag niya siyang bastard, tinawag niya siyang cancer at nitwit, tinawag niya siyang suka. Sinabi niya pa na inbred si Dusty Rhodes. So, ikaw, Emile, you wanted to talk about this. Anong mas masahol? Yung tinawag ni Shinsuke na inbred si Dusty Rhodes or yung mga sinasabi ni Christian Cage about the dead dads?
I think the inbred one is worse. Kasi yung
Yeah.
kasi
I mean, everyone
yung
dies, diba?
yeah, di
Sabi
ba?
nila, sabi nila sa Archer, everybody dies. Pero not everyone's an inbred.
Exactly. Plus, the thing is, it was a very light-hearted feel to the episode because it's Christmas, right? And then this Nakamura comes in with this dark poem about Cody and all the things that he said. So sobrang lano ko doon, nagulat ako doon because I thought, okay, we're gonna get a good feel raw, and this the Nakamura did that promo. So that was worse. The inbred thing was definitely worse.
But do you think it's bad writing, as Angelo is pointing out to comments?
Not really bad writing, but not the best either. You know, but it's just ano it's a character trait of Nakamura kasi these days. He will stoop to the lowest of the low to get his opponent psyched out or something. So yeah, I don't think it's bad writing, but they could have done better.
I actually enjoyed it. Not because it's tasteless, but because it was the first Nakamura promo in this particular era na hindi, I mean, in this feud with him and Cody, that wasn't weirdly cryptic or anything. Uh, I don't think kasi there is space for that much subtlety in wrestling, especially when you have someone who doesn't speak English as a first language, diba? This one is straight to the point. It's direct. It's blatantly disrespectful, blatantly irreverent. I enjoyed it for what it is as a dickish heel, an evil anime villain. I'm sure they do that in anime. And alam mo yun, that's the edge that he needed. Kasi he misted Cody last week, diba? And it wasn't cool. And he needs something to really, boost his street cred as a heel. So I appreciated that. Siyempre, it's funny kasi,
Because he called Dusty an
yeah,
inbred.
stuff like that. It is, in a way, juvenile, pero I appreciated what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I wouldn't say na out of place siya for a feel-good episode of Raw. If anything, diba, the heel's job is to make you feel uncomfortable. And if that necessitated straying away from yung feel-good nature ng Christmas episode ng Raw, edi all the better, diba? Kasi now, Emile, we're talking about it. You
Yeah.
felt uncomfortable watching and rewatching the segment. That means na as a heel, bilang kontrabida, tama yung ginagawa ni Shinsuke. Diba?
Yep. That's true. That's true right there.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say na it's like necessarily a bad thing. Pero kayo, what do you guys think? Si Max sinasabi niya sa comments, mas nag-focus siya dun sa kicks ni Cody.
I was finally wearing sneakers.
Yeah, he finally joined the bandwagon.
Na-realize niya, uy, pwede rin pala ako maging sneakerhead. So siya na-dance. All right. Let's talk about one more thing before we head to break. We actually got some news over the last day or two about Mercedes Moné. So, eto, nire-report ng Dirt Sheets. Specifically, si Sean Ross Sapp. First, sinabi, may nag-report na yung working plans for Mercedes in AEW reportedly hindi na raw sila working plans. I'll be honest, guys. When I first saw this headline, ang inisip ko, so hindi na siya working plan. So like actual plans na siya. That's how I interpreted it. And then may mga follow-up na parang it's actually steering towards Mercedes potentially going back to WWE. So now there's a new report na ang sabi-sabi within the industry, according to Sean Ross Sapp, is that yung asking price down ni Mercedes is more than what Charlotte Flair got on her new WWE contract, which, sabi ng sources, is already one of the richest for a woman in WWE history.
I am gonna say that the contract increase is well deserved because she went out there and established herself as a legit draw for a company an ocean away rather, and got people to tune in to a company that probably most of them never really watched, diba? So by that alone, she has leverage to claim that the company needs her, WWE needs her rather, and they'll make more money when she comes back. So I don't think a lot of people could say that. I don't think, let's say, Charlotte could command the same loyalty and devotion if she went away and went to either AEW or New Japan. So that part I can buy and I can respect. As for the plans, I think, well, she's always been a Triple H baby. So I think when Triple H was cemented firmly in power to WWE, uh, that probably swung the pendulum back to WWE for her. So I can buy it. Tony Khan didn't jump right away. I don't know why. Maybe it's because yeah, Triple H assumed power in late 2022.
Na-injure si Mercedes, di ba?
Yeah, and but she could have signed anyway, diba? She could have still signed an AEW contract.
Got the Mark Davis deal.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it really helped. Like Triple H was able to bring back Kyrie and other things.
Mm-hmm. Ikaw, Emile.
Yeah, yung about sa asking price, I mean, well deserved. I mean, she should get a big bag here. Kasi nga, she proved na she went away. She went away from WWE and she went to Japan and proved na she's a draw. People really captivate to Mercedes money wherever she goes. And she's probably the biggest star right now, that is biggest women's star that is not contracted to WWE. So I think it's kind of obvious now she's going back. Kasi I don't see her fitting into to AW right now. Kasi TK, even though it's getting better, the women's division is still kind of a mess. So the best promotion for her to work on, and the promotion that can give her the amount of money that she wants, is WWE. So I think it's a matter of time talaga before she comes back.
So, diba, over on SmackDown, there's the tension na Bailey might be kicked out na from Damage Control. And then with Charlotte Flair out, parang sayang yung opportunity to reunite the four horsewomen and have them face Damage Control at a show like WrestleMania. So, is Mercedes still worth bringing back, even if you can't have that four horsewomen phenomenon moment?
Siyempre.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, definitely.
Charlotte was like the weakest link in that particular, and not saying that she's bad. It's more of people have the least love for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they can always insert Bianca to that kung do sa 4 and 4. Yeah.
It's not the same, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, and these are four horsewomen though. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess it would make sense given as Glendale kind of alludes to, Bailey and Sasha do have the history as the golden role model. Tama ba? Golden role models. Tama, diba? That was their tag team.
Yeah.
That was it, yeah.
Diba? So, and the Boss and Hug connection, that was the other name that I was thinking of. So I guess there's still history there. Diba? All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll do our best to predict World's End, which is not happening for another couple of weekends, but we're taking a break for next week, so we're going to do it right after this one. But first, a quick word from our other podcasts on the Pod Network. All right, World's End is happening on December 30 in the US. So that's December 31 Philippine time for our patrons. Meron tayong huling pasabog, huling watch party in our little Discord. So watch out for that. We don't really have much of a card as of recording. We're doing this December 21, by the way, for those listening to audio-only version. So let's talk about what we can. And we're going to start by predicting the prospects of Ricky Starks and Big Bill possibly defending their AEW World Tag Team Championship now that the Golden Jets are on the shelf.
Okay. I don't know. There are two teams with an actual storyline. That's House of Black being Buddy Murphy and Malachi Black and FTR.
Yeah.
So kung ganun lang din, you might as well I mean, it doesn't need a championship, but you do need, I guess, something for your champions to do. There is, I'm sorry, I haven't seen Dynamite today, but I don't know if they gotten started on the replacement for the Golden Jets.
Yeah, wala pa, wala pa.
Wala pa, diba? So
Nag-promo lang si Jericho to say na Kenny's out of action indefinitely.
yeah, yeah. So
No.
sorry, what, Emile?
No, what for? How about Jericho and then someone replaces Kenny? Probably Daniel Garcia or something.
I don't know. Yeah, people are saying either Paul White or Kota Ibushi does that, but Ibushi has a Noah show on January 2, so he can't do that. You can probably reunite Jericho. You might as well, diba? Since the feud is still, pretty hot. So,
Pero transferable ba yung title shot?
I mean, at this point, Tony Khan has let MJF defend his tag team championship with another person, diba? Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
with Samoa
might as
Joe.
well.
yeah, and let Adam Cole defend his world championship.
Despite being on one leg.
Yeah, diba? so many Tony Khan, so many Tony Khan contradictions and loops of logic. At this point, Big Show reuniting Jericho would be the least of the logic leaps. Diba?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Go, Emile. Any guesses or do you want to move on?
I said probably Daniel Garcia. That's my guess at this moment. And
All
the
right.
champs retain. I don't think the titles is moving away from Starks and Bill anytime soon.
All right, TBS Championship. There is a feud brewing between Julia Hart and Abaddon. I actually like this. Medyo weird lang yung nangyari nung collision na Thunder Rosa has come back from injury and now she and Abaddon are friends. Like, I didn't know that you could talk sense to a living dead girl and shake their hand and form some sort of alliance, but that is the world in which we live.
Yeah, didn't quite like yung pag-singit ni Thunder Rosa there. I also feel like Sky Blue's involvement was also last minute because that wasn't the direction they were going with when Sky turned heel.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's going to be a straight up TBS championship match. That's what they've been building up to over the past couple of weeks with Abaddon and Julia. So because it's that, I feel like it's a routine Julia Hart defense because I feel like they're saving the big moment for Sky Blue.
Mm-hmm. Or Sky
Yeah.
Black. Kung Sky
Yeah,
Black.
Sky Black.
Sky Black na ba
Yeah.
tawag sa kanya?
Well, I
think
thought
so.
na ano lang yun, na joke lang yun kasi diba, she turned heel.
Yeah.
Parang Sky Blue is now Sky Black.
I
but
mean,
she could use a rebranding.
yeah.
Diba?
Baka
You
na
can get
trademark
away
na nung other Sky Blue yung Sky Blue.
Yeah.
Although Sky Blue, the adult film star, has said on the record that she wouldn't mind working with Sky Blue, the wrestler.
I think a lot of people would not mind that at all.
Yeah.
But
Si
Yeah.
Rowen, off the frame, di nyo nakikita, pero si Rowen, his mind is blown. He's
Yeah.
ready to...
yeah, Google it in your Google machine.
Ah. Si Glendale, kunwari pa eh. Lul! Okay, next up, Adam Copeland versus Christian Cage. Parang dito naman talaga tayo papunta. World's End match between these two former best friends.
Yeah, I don't know as of today's Dynamite, but last week they didn't really follow up on the big on the big Shayna Wayne turn, which is unfortunate because people needed answers after that terrible acting job and that Bloodline light play, diba?
Yeah, wala pa rin follow-up on
Yeah.
Dynamite today.
Yeah, so that's terrible. And we have like what? One episode or I guess 3 episodes of TV left or 5 episodes of TV left before the pay-per-view. So obviously, yeah. I mean, of course you don't have a decisive finish on the main event of a random TV episode. So clearly you're building up to a big pay-per-view match.
Yeah.
So
No DQ pa nga eh.
yeah. So I feel like if this happens, it's Copes to win, Copes to lose then. I mean, obviously, diba? That's why else would you bring in a legend if he is not to bring buzz to one of your championships?
Ikaw, Emile.
Yeah, I actually thought we're gonna get a TLC match of some sorts here. But I feel
You want to make these guys retire again?
Sino bang may trademark sa TLC?
No,
Feel
I
the
mean,
WWE, honestly.
Yeah.
if anyone can do it, then if anyone can do it safely, maybe it's these two. But yeah, I get it. Yeah, at this point, Glendale is right. Adam Copeland needs to win here. Medyo na cool off na kasi yung momentum niya from his debut. So
Yep.
feels like needs something to kickstart his momentum again. And so Copeland with the win. But I don't mind if this feud stretches out to Revolution, and then we're gonna get probably some sort of a ladder match or something.
Yeah, I mean, let him win, and then that Christian rematch. Diba?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
if you don't want to mess with the TLC trademark, you can do what they did with
Blood and
War
Guts.
Games being
Yeah.
Blood and Guts, but they can call it DSS, like desks, steps, and stairs or
Or
seats.
the Home Depot Derby or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So wala nang live sex celebration like what Lance is asking for. Come on, we don't need that. Although Christian and Shayna Wayne making out, it still would be funny to me just because, diba, parang, like I'm everybody's father, especially yours, Nick Wayne. So like that would be funny to me. Although we can do without the allusion, the allusions to the Ruthless Aggression era. All right, Continental Classic. Let's talk about this. Kasi yung Gold League now has a three-way semi-final match. That's between Mox, Jay White, and Swerve. All of them finished with 12 points. Meanwhile, sa Blue League, hindi pa sila tapos dun. Pero marami pa rin in the running. The only one who's mathematically eliminated there is Daniel Garcia. So let's preview this. What do you think is going to happen to semis, and who are your finals picks? And if you want, maybe even a winner pick.
Right. Obviously, we already have the match set for gold. It's it's Mox, Swerve, and Jay.
Yeah.
I'm still going with Swerve here to advance to the finals because they already teased the whole World Championship story with MJF earlier today on Dynamite. So I think they're gonna follow through with that. Tapos in the Blue League, I don't think well there are still a few matches left, diba?
Yeah.
But I think it's still going to be Andrade versus Bryan in their semis. So yun pa rin.
So Kingston really loses everything.
Yep. I never saw him retaining anything. Diba? So
Mukhang gago dito, diba? Parang, let me defend everything. Let's put everything on the table.
He fought valiantly, so that's totally fine. It has to be Bryan versus Swerve. I want to see that matchup. I think it's gonna fuck.
Have we not seen that?
Parang no.
No, we haven't.
We
I don't
haven't,
think so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Another all-star battle in mga taga Pacific Northwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, what a hotbed for wrestling the Pacific Northwest has become.
Exactly. Yeah.
From Bryan to Nick Wayne. I'm kidding.
Darby
Obviously,
Allin.
it's for Darby Allin. Yeah. Which is not to totally dunk on Nick Wayne here. All right. So Bryan and Swerve, who's your winner pick there? Swerve pa rin.
MJF, no? So
Yeah.
let's put a Swerve on it. Because it's his year. I think 2024 is his year. And I think Tony Khan knows better than to fumble the bag, even though, the track record says otherwise. He needs to capitalize on Swerve's momentum.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to the AEW Women's World Championship. So Riho defeated Saraya earlier, so now she can say na she's the legitimate number one contender. I mean, she came out of nowhere and then suddenly got into Timeless Tony Storm's business, but now she won the number one contenders match, so she gets to challenge Tony Storm at World's End.
Yeah, no, I mean, Riho is great. We love Riho over here. Pero this is a timeless Tony Storm successful defense that she needs to have because she is the top star in the women's division right now, and it should stay that way for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same thing here. Tony should win here, and then that's it. Timeless Tony Storm for the win.
Sana magaling na yung gout ni Luther. As a fellow gout sufferer, I empathize with Luther. All right, let's end things here with the AEW World Championship match between MJF and Samoa Joe. 2 questions. 1, do we finally see the devil get unmasked? And 2, does Joe defeat MJF?
Joe does not defeat MJF. I know I said this at the end of Full Gear, but now more than ever, the devil should unveil himself and unmask himself. Because right now, it's the bigger story. Like, it's bigger than MJF versus Joe. It's bigger than Roddy naming Samoa Joe as his best friend by proxy.
Samoa!
Yeah. So if they're not building to this, and what else are we waiting for?
Yeah.
I don't think people can wait 2 or 3 more months before Revolution.
I think that would be the biggest disappointment coming out of World's End if we don't know who the devil is pa rin by then. After all the teasing, after all the blue balls and stuff. So yun, Emile, any guesses here who the devil might be?
At this point,
Wala na akong ano. It's one of those things na I will let them cook with, diba?
What if it's a disappointing reveal?
Kaya nga hindi ko na siya pe-predict eh. Kasi I don't know who it's gonna be. Sorry, Emile. I don't know. I don't have any idea of who it could be now. At this point, it could really be anyone. It depends na rin on who are the henchmen that have been following him.
Yeah.
So I just want to see it play out.
I think at this point, like I heard this from the Masked Man show a few weeks back, na it has gotten to a point where kahit sino yung ma-reveal na devil, it will be a disappointment because again, it is dapat nung Full Gear talaga. That was the perfect time for the devil reveal. But now, I don't know. It can be anyone, and I don't think I would be happy about it.
I don't agree with that. I think the Joe story had been pretty fun. I enjoyed watching.
Yeah.
I don't mind the Devil's reveal being pushed back to World's End. But they have to do it now kasi after Joe kasi wala na eh. Wala nang ibang ganap.
Yeah. I think yung condition ko lang is the devil better not be a big guy. Kasi diba
obviously not, yeah.
Yeah, diba we've seen the devil be like somewhat normal size, like a Roderick Strong or a Jack Perry or a Kyle O'Reilly or even an Adam Cole. If it turns out to be someone like freaking Shane Taylor or Samoa Joe, diba? Doon ako magwawala kasi parang tangina ginagago mo lang ako eh. Mukhang normal na tao tapos biglang dambuhala pala yung nasa ilalim ng mask, diba? So yun lang yung request ko na hindi siya malaking mama.
To be fair, reports are saying those yung devil and the henchmen, they're the ones who's really working. So it must be a normal sized guy. Right?
And the henchmen are them.
And
the devil is him.
Yeah, the devil is him.
Pero what if it's Dolph Ziggler? Kasi tapos na yung 90-day no compete niya by then.
That would be cool, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, no, not Keith Lee. Angelo, wag naman ganyan.
I mean, I don't know. At this point, wala akong ideas. It could be anyone. That's I would much rather just watch it to see who it is.
Yeah. So there, that is our very much half-baked World's End predictions. Kasi obviously, ang tagal pa ng World's End, and as we've seen from AEW, they do tend to stack the card, especially with just days remaining before the show. So expect another 9 to 10 match card, maybe 11 matches to end the year. And for our patrons, we'll be spending the morning of New Year's Eve together watching the pay-per-view together for our final watch party of 2023. As we begin to wind down here, any other things that we missed from this week in wrestling? Parang wala na, no? We covered everything.
We covered everything.
TNA has a big surprise coming, but we don't know. Could easily also be Dolph Ziggler.
But is that a CM Punk reference? So there, let us know if may hula ba kayo kung sino tong TNA surprise. Ito si babyface producer Jasper, nanggagago din eh. Carlo, I have no idea kung anong nasa programming ng Premier Sports.
But speaking of, local channels having wrestling programming, I just want to shout out Last TV.
TV.
I discovered it this past week. Dito paid endorsement.
In fact, kami pa nga nagbabayad sa Blast TV through our Converge sponsor subscription.
We are pushing this because they don't know how to push it themselves. I saw their social media. They're not promoting the WWE content. The WWE content that appears either on the same day or right after, the day after. Because it's Raw, NXT, SmackDown, live, no 3-week delay, no 2-week delay. It's this week's episode. Immediately, not even immediately, but right after it shows, you can go watch it. No ads, no nothing. It's free with your Converge subscription if you are a Converge subscriber like all of us, and
Yeah.
all of
I
us.
think
Yeah.
Converge and Globe. Yun yung nabasa ko
Yeah,
eh.
Converge
Globe
lang,
as well.
Converge lang. It's
Converge lang?
Converge on the marquee.
Kaya
Yeah.
sobrang game changer nito.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah,
not a
definitely.
ad.
Yeah.
Tangina, if we had this when we were growing up, like we would have been spoiled as shit.
Yeah.
Again, I'm promoting this because they are not promoting it. They're not promoting it on Facebook. Wala silang Twitter. Wala ata silang Instagram. They don't understand the drawing power of wrestling weirdos looking for the latest content uh, and watching it in a legit way, in a
Mga
legit
weirdo na dinedefend ni Miz.
in a legit non-piratey way, diba?
Oh.
Like I don't have to go watch go watch it on the high seas anymore because it's right here and I'm paying for it with my broadband internet bill, diba? So yeah, thank you so much, Blast TV, for doing this service. I don't know how you did it, but you did it. So thank you so much.
So si Blast TV is obviously owned by TAP, right?
Yeah.
And TAP Sports, TAP Go, that company, TAP Media Ventures there, is owned by the same people who own and run Ovation Productions. So yung mga nagpapa-concert ng Incubus Combo Band at ni Ed Sheeran. Sila yon, okay? So may kakilala kayo sa TAP. Kasi yung kakilala ko wala na dun eh.
Yeah.
So may kakilala kayo sa TAP, pakisabihan sila na legit ang wrestling fandom dito sa Pinas.
Push that shit.
Oh,
exactly.
Pucha, live na nga yung telecast. Meron pang on-demand. Inasan ka pa, di ba?
Dami naghahanap for real. So
I mean, this, I don't know, I mean, si Rowen siguro naabutan nito. Yung panahon na pati yung SmackDown sa Jack TV, we got it before the US did kasi it was taped on Tuesdays and then they would air it on Friday our time and not Friday US time. That would have been Saturday. Right? So right now it's too good to be true. So support that shit because if you don't come watching, they won't renew that shit. Diba?
Blast TV people, di namin kayo ginagagawa. Di kami galit.
Di kami
Passionate
galit.
lang kami.
No.
So kung gusto i-censor out yung mga pagmumura namin, go lang. Gamitin nyo na to, itong clip na to pang advertise ng WWE telecasts niyo. Kasi tangina sobrang ganda eh.
No, to Carlo's point, it's not just I don't know if Tap Go was free on Converge.
Hindi ko nabutan, honestly.
Hindi, diba? But ito, I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay anything extra. I'm already paying 1,500 every month, and now I get free wrestling live. I mean, on demand, the latest shit.
Hindi ko na kailangan mag-pirate ng WWE. Di ba? Hindi ko sinasabi nagpa-pirate ako. Pero hindi nyo na kailangan mag-WWE.
Yes, sir.
So Blast TV, man, doing the Lord's work.
Yeah. Now we're doing the Lord's work for Blast TV. Jesus Christ.
Shout outs to Blast TV.
Kung kayo sa Ovation Productions or sa TAP Digital Media Ventures, pakisabi lang na paki-promote naman sa mga wrestling fans.
Converge na rin kayo. Oh, see, now I'm promoting Converge as well.
Kami yung nagbabayad.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Saying hey to PLN Sastry. Thank you so much, dude, for watching us. He says that there's only 3 watching. There's actually more on Facebook. We got a livelier conversation on Facebook Live right now. But he's wishing, or they're wishing, that it'll be 30,000 someday. Yeah, let's hope for that. It's gonna be messy, but that's the dream. Thank you so much.
Julian, tama lang yung maraming promotion. Di kami tulad ni Rowen na galit sa pera.
Oh.
Si Rowen galit yan sa pera kaya ayaw niya progressive match flow eh.
Yeah, if Blast TV wants to do a Blast TV recap, Blast TV, maasahang player of the game, we're all for that,
Kahit anong sponsored segment ng Blast TV gagawin namin.
Oh.
Kahit pangalanan pa ng Blast Your Face or something, gagawin namin yan. All right, as we wind down here, let's promote our own shit. Emile, what do you have going on over the holidays?
Wala naman, just social media on TikTok, Twitter, shit posting about wrestling and basketball.
Uy, may review si Emile sa TikTok niya sa bagong t-shirt ng WWE.
Oh no, I haven't made that yet. I will make that.
Gagawa niya ng FR.
Yeah. So I will make that this weekend. So I guess watch out for that, I guess.
All right, ikaw, Ro.
Oh yeah. Please watch Noche Buena on Rock of Manila TV.
Yeah, yung magmumura si Ro. Ito na, sa Pasko.
Sa Pasko. Gonna ruin the sanctity of Christmas.
Magmumura siya sa TV sa Pasko.
But only because someone else ruined the sanctity of Christmas on that day. So watch to find out what it is. Our Noche Buena Part 2, Rock of Manila TV, Monday, 9 p.m. Christmas Day. Perfect for your post Christmas party. Kung tapos na yung Christmas party nyo by then. But if you haven't seen Part 1 yet, it's now up on the Rock of Manila TV Facebook and YouTube page. I believe I've also uploaded it on the MWF YouTube page without ads. It's a 2-hour special. We're releasing the second part also as a 2-hour special. So please go check that out. If you want to, watch it ahead of time, you can also subscribe to our Gank, ManilaWrestling.com. It's only $10, around 600 pesos. You can pay via credit card, debit card, GCash, PayPal, I believe. So that's what gets you early access to the show. Right. Also, before we're also apparently opening sponsorships to both MWF and DexCon for the year 2024. If you fancy yourself a Tony Khan type of potential angel investor in local wrestling, you can now donate or sponsor our creative endeavors in the next year. So if you got some extra money laying around, syempre, only if you can, and you want to see Philippine wrestling succeed in the next year, in the new year, please think about it. You never know what you could be funding. You could be funding the next big show here.
Yeah, the people who would go on to be in NXT Asia or in NXT US. These are people who might be in the big leagues one day, and that could all be because of your support. Speaking of the 2-hour special sa Rock of Manila, Julian, hindi. Special lang talaga. Literal na special for December, for Christmas.
Yeah.
After that, balik tayo sa 1 MWF. And before you catch Noche Buena on Christmas Day, I hope you can take some time to catch the PBA coverage on the Smart Livestream app. So I'll be calling the Christmas Day games on December 25, 4 p.m. That's San Miguel versus Phoenix. And then 6:30, I believe it's Magnolia versus TNT, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not looking at the schedule right now. I should. I can load it naman. So yeah. No, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not. So it is. The logos are not yet loading right now, pero hindi siya Manila Classico, unfortunately. But I'm San Miguel versus Phoenix yung first game, 4 p.m. I was right. Ginebra versus TNT at 6:30. So I'll be calling that on the Smart live stream alongside Coach Bujing Akot. So go ahead and join us there. If you're a Smart subscriber, I believe mas accessible yan for you. Then after you catch the doubleheader, go catch MWF Noche Buena. And for everything else that we do here on the podcast, it is at Wrestling2XPod on TikTok and on Twitter. Individual accounts are at Meister, at Chino Supersized, at Monday Night Rowen, and at _Stancy. Distract ako sa music.
Why is Pablo circumstance Jasper? Ask for this.
Jasper nang gagago.
Di man ng Christmas carol.
Pinapalis na tayo, pucha. Pinapag-graduate tayo. Kami ang puta. Alright, pinapalis na kami ni Babyface producer Jasper, who's officially turned heel. So he and Kuya Jeff, they are asking us to vacate the TPN studio. So that is exactly what we're going to do at their behest and demand. So thank you, everyone, for catching the last live stream of 2023. Thank you to our Babyface producers for all of the work that they do. And thank you to the Pod Network as well for continuing to support the Wrestling Podcast.
Rowen, come here.
Yeah, Rowan, get your ass in here. To all of you who are watching the live stream, all of you listening on Spotify, everyone who's part of the Wrestling Podcast community in some way, shape, or form, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from the bottom of our hearts and the hearts of our bottoms. We hope that you stuff yourselves with food, nabuo pa yung mga daliri nyo, at kung magpapaputo kayo, please sa labas ha, wag sa loob. Alright? So on behalf of Rowen ASH, Emile Nate, Romaran, my name is Stan C. Another episode of the Wrestling Podcast in the books. Stay safe, stay healthy, don't be a dick. Later, weirdos. Merry Christmas!
Peace!
Merry Christmas!